5 months ago, I took the biggest risk that I've ever taken in my life. I quit my stable 9-to-5 job to pursue my dream of starting my own business. I'm a digital marketer. I've started up a digital marketing agency. In this video, I'm going to break down the last 5 months, explain the highs and lows, and try and teach you some of the lessons I've learned. So yeah, hi, I'm Owen. As I said, I quit my job 5 months ago. I previously worked at a marketing agency who helped local businesses rank higher on Google, get more clients, get more leads. My job previous to that was a marketing apprenticeship. Since school, I've jumped around probably 5 or 6 different jobs in different industries. For the past 3 to 4 years, I've stuck out at marketing. I've really enjoyed getting to know local businesses and watching them grow and learning stuff along the way. And I thought, why don't I just start doing this for businesses and getting my own clients? Because I was actually seeing how much I was earning in my old agency, and my wages didn't really reflect that, but I get it, it's business. But I wanted to take a shot at it and give it a go myself. So the biggest challenge I've faced since, whilst getting my first client, whilst at my old agency, and managing both, is that the biggest challenge the biggest challenge that I faced when starting this was a mindset shift, and it was managing money. Definitely managing money. I got myself in a bit of debt. It's only small, but because of that debt, I was very scared to do anything, and I didn't feel like I was making any progress. And then I managed to sign my first client, and he wanted to pay 12 months in one go and get a new website. So I would do web design for him and SEO on top of that. So not only did he pay for the website in one go, he also paid for 12 months service in one go, and I think it was about 5 or 6 grand, which to me at the time was fucking insane. Like, I'm coming from just getting out of my overdraft every month to wiping my credit card, wiping my overdraft, and having some left over. And I think I had about 4 grand left over, and my outgoings were tiny. I lived at home. I still do now. So my outgoings were tiny, and I thought I can get an office and live for the next 6 months without earning another penny. I think it was 6 months or 4 months or something. So I thought, why not? Let's just try it. I knew I had 4 months then to get more clients, essentially. And we're at month 5 now. So the biggest challenge I've faced was, I don't think I'd be here without that first client. Well, I wouldn't be here without that first client. So yeah, if I didn't have him, we would be in a different story. So I would say the biggest, if you're looking to do this yourself, try and increase the probability of you being able to make that jump. Whether that's asking a stupid question at work to understand something better, or whether that's pitching your idea to a business owner who actually needs someone like you to help. Like, the worst they'll say is no. If they say no, is what it is. If they say yeah, then you can go at it. But if you're in a different stage, might be older, one client might not help, I'd say still do that, but you're going to have to manage that client and manage your job and get more clients whilst at your full-time job. Like, it's still possible, it's just a mindset shift. So yeah, the biggest challenge for me is a mindset shift. I've consumed lots of self-help books, lots of videos. Simon Squibb, he's a good one to look at. I've watched a lot of Diary of the CEO, Modern Wisdom. Just try and consume, better yourself, better your mindset, invest in you, and then just try your luck and see what happens. If you don't buy a ticket, you're not going to win the raffle, so give it a go. I think I'm actually going to give a breakdown of my first client. So he was a friend of my dad. My dad was my biggest salesman. He's in the trade, so he does construction. He knows a lot of small businesses in construction, and he was just my biggest salesman, really. He pitched for me. The guy didn't call me. My dad texted me and said, "This guy's going to call you. I told him you can do websites and he wants one." Bear in mind, I've never sold anyone a website. I've never worked with my own clients, so I was like, okay. He called me, and I took what I learned at my job and just applied it to him. The exact same process, the exact same conversations, but you're selling for yourself. So that means you get all the reward, but you take all the risk. So you got to make sure you do a good job. And I think I gave him 3 options. I think I said, you can have this website and it's this price and it'll have this many pages. We can have this one and then this one. And he went for the middle one. And I was like, I remember getting off the phone and just celebrating. And it's funny to look back on. But it was probably the best feeling I've had since starting this. So yeah. Now, it's probably best to move on to what happened after that. So I done his website, started his SEO. He paid me all up front, so I've got X amount in my bank. And now, so I've got X amount in my bank from my first client, and instantly I made my own website after making his, because I knew now I'm making a jump. Like, I've got the ability to make the jump. I'm just gonna do it and see what happens. I wasn't too happy at my old job. They're good people, but it just weren't for me. So I thought, yes, I'm gonna make the jump. Built my site. Looked at office spaces because I couldn't work from home. I have a box room, so just a bed, go sleep in it. That's it. Didn't want to work from there. Couldn't invite clients there. I needed office space, 100%. So I looked online, and I didn't have a car at the time either. So it needed to be close to my house, so I could walk there, and it needs to be cheap because I didn't have a lot of money. I found an office, 250 quid. This room, it didn't look like this at the start, and it was about a 20-minute walk from my house. So I thought, yes, I'm going to do that. As soon as I done that, I applied online I inquired about the office, and then I always set a date, and I always told my friend at work, on this day I'm quitting, I'm going to get my own clients. And I just threw a date in the air. I said, yeah, this date I'm quitting. And I could feel myself getting closer to the date. And I was like, shit, I'm gonna actually do this. And the date hit. I asked my manager to go in the back office. I've never actually, all my other jobs, they haven't been as formal as this one. So I've never actually sat across from someone and said, I'm handing my notice in. My apprenticeship finished, so that stopped. I don't know why. So I've just watched that back. I don't know why I lied, but I lied there. I got dismissed from my apprenticeship because I was, I weren't doing what I was meant to be doing. I had a lot of free time at my apprenticeship, and I started building my dad's website. And I shouldn't have been doing it, and I regret doing it. And I'm sorry to the guys. They're really good people. I'm close with them now. But yeah, so I don't know why I lied. I didn't want to seem like I got sacked about it. So yeah, may as well be honest. Then I got this job, and all my other jobs were in warehouses, working for tradesmen. So it was a very different environment. It was very easy to say, you know what, I'm going to try this out. But for some reason, this one was harder, and I was shaking. So I've gone into the room with the manager, and I've said, here's my notice. I wrote up a notice, and even put, potentially we can work together in the future, but it'll just be a different dynamic. What I meant by that is, I was open to helping them out if they were too busy, because I left. Because they didn't have much staff at the time, and I didn't want to leave them without being able to do all the work. And I wanted the income for myself. Never heard back. But yeah, so I was scared and I left. And then I had a month then. And then the office came through, I got accepted for it, gave my deposit. No, I didn't even give my deposit. I was meant to give it a deposit, but the landlord was already sound. And he said, don't worry about the deposit. I think that was 600 quid. And at the time, that's like, I don't know, 20% of everything I have. And bear in mind, I'm not going to earn anything apart from my last paycheck. So yeah, that was lucky. Then I got this space. So this was the office. I'll try and include a picture of what it was like before, now. So if you remember the picture before, it didn't look like this. All of this second handle free. My dad put that up because he's addicted to darts. That's a cool picture I already had. Everything second handle free, apart from the rug and the pillows, and then the paint on the walls, and that. Everything else second handle free. So yeah, that is a breakdown of my clients at the minute. So in my last video I had 6, and I was pulling in about 1,500 a month, and 2 months on I have, I think that's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so I didn't even count that, it's 9 or 10. So the way I built them clients up, the first 3 to 4 were from my network connections. The place I had an apprenticeship actually became, I think, my 3rd or 4th client. I'm still working with them now. All the others, so 6, 7, 8, and then the ones in my pipeline, have came from cold calls. I've trialed like a tiny amount with paid ads. Don't want to do it, haven't got a budget. Just want to do cold calls at the minute. But I want to push my network and potentially organic social. But yeah, I definitely recommend jumping on cold calls if you need some clients. I will pull up how I found businesses' information, and then the script I used, if I can find it. Yeah, so I made a really big spreadsheet of businesses that were nearby and as much information I could find on them. So I'd break it down by the company name, to the niche, to their website. If I could find the contact first name, I couldn't find the second names, mobile number and email address. And how I'd make notes for the calls. So if they didn't answer, I'd put no answer. That means I could call back, the date I contacted, and if it did answer, I'd put a note. And then it would normally follow by a next action, which was a follow-up on a certain date. I think I've got loads of these lists, but I think this list has 100 people in it. So yeah, just try your luck wherever you can, and you never know until you ask. And most small businesses anyway need this kind of help, and they want to work with local businesses, so just give it a go. I briefly covered like my biggest lesson at the start of the video, but I've learned a lot of lessons from that. Biggest one is mindset. So whether that's discipline, a mindset shift. And another lesson I've came across is being on my own, because I haven't got any staff. I'm here every day on my own. I speak to people, but it's very different from going from a loud office environment to being on your own. So it's kind of getting used to that. And the way I've dealt with that is by listening to podcasts, speaking to my clients, taking walks, and actually connecting with. So when I hit my first goal of income, I actually felt a bit lost. This is another lesson, that the mountain, no matter how high the mountain is, when you reach the top, there's always a bigger one behind it. And because I hit that goal, I didn't make another mountain behind it, and I felt lost at that point, and I did go slightly down the mountain. And then I had to connect with why I started and what I'm actually searching for and why I'm doing this, which is partly income and money. I don't want that to hold me back, and being in control of your time as well. Like, I like the fact I can take a walk. Yeah, I've got client work to do, but as long as I do it, I can go and take a walk. I can go get a haircut when I want. I don't have to eat at 1 p.m. Like, I don't feel like I don't want to say the term, but like a slave. I didn't like the fact that someone could tell me when I could eat and tell me when I could go break. Like, I literally enjoyed going to the toilet because I could sit on my phone. And as stupid as it sounds, that's what I enjoyed at my last job. I obviously enjoyed the work, but if I was bored of the work, I would literally savour them moments where I get to do something on my own and no one's telling me off for doing it. So yeah. My future goal is, so now we're at 12 clients. My future goal is to improve my own marketing, so improve my website and improve my social media strategy, and potentially get a client from, or book a prospect meeting from my social media content. That's like really short term. Long term is to bring in 10k per month and be able to employ someone. That's my next mountain, so to speak. So yeah, if I close this video, I'll give you another update when I think it's necessary, when I think I can give you some value. But I'd say try and make that mindset shift. Try and make sure that you're taking a step forward, no matter what the goal is. Just that one step forward, and it will compound over time. So yeah, thanks.